Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, of course, we have the Dougie Fresh. Doug, Pirates lose today once again. Not pretty. It was 4-0. Hunter Greene stifled this offense completely. How you feeling, brother?
You know, I'm getting used to it, right? I mean, this is, Hunter Greene's a really good pitcher, and we
Yes.
make journeymen look like great pitchers. I mean, I know that we've had a lot of luck against Hunter Greene. I mean, we haven't hit him well or whatever, but weird breaks. But we couldn't expect that to continue, right? I mean, he's a really good pitcher, and we have a really terrible offense. I mean, that is a formula for a simple loss. He retired the last 17, and he was never threatened at all. And what did we get? 2 hits today? 2 hits?
2 hits.
Yeah. Not much. There's really not much to say. This team is terrible. They just got swept by the Reds, who came in tied with the Pirates for last place. They were 5-8 along with us. And, now they are, they're 8-8. That makes them 8-8 now. They're a 500 team. And we, of course, lose more than 2 out of 3. The team's terrible, and there doesn't look to be any sign of improvement coming, any help coming from anywhere. And our general manager keeps saying things like, "Oh, this is the best depth we've ever had at the upper level." And Tommy Pham is doing exactly what we had hoped for. It's kind of like, what really struck me today, and it's just a little thing, but Emmanuel Valdez, right?
Sure.
He struck out on pitches that were strikes according to the pitch tracks type thing. And he just left shaking his head every time, like, that's not a strike. I can't believe. So he's a 140 hitter, who can't recognize, doesn't have a knowledge of the strike zone. And that sort of sums up the Pirates. It sums up our organization. Like I understand that the broadcast team, I understand Ben Cherington, they have to say things like, but I mean, they just seem oblivious.
Do they have to?
How?
I mean, do you have to?
No, I don't think so. I don't like the homerism. I would much rather have like the broadcasters tell me like it is, that was a bad play. I'm so tired of hearing, oh, gosh, he hit that one hard, and oh, the pitcher, that was just bad luck. It was soft contact, and oh gosh, he just if it were 4 more feet, that's baseball. Right. I mean, that's baseball. If you don't get it that 4 more feet, it's an out. Right. That's a fundamental principle of the game. It's the guys that can get it that extra 4 feet are the ones that hit home runs. There's a whole, thousands of players who have not been able to, who have gotten it close. But, it doesn't matter. And that's right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would prefer if Ben Cherington came out and said, look, haven't done a very good job. We've missed on some stuff, and we need to do better. We need to look at our processes and that sort of thing too. But no, they're not. But then I get to the point where I wonder, does he believe some of the stuff he says? Like I know it seems impossible, because it's just obvious that this is a really, really bad team, particularly this lineup. But he seems to think that everybody's in a bat or two from turning it around, and that's a real problem. I mean, we have lots of problems, but it's a real. If you don't recognize the problem, you're the first step is having to admit you have a problem, and it doesn't seem like our organization has done that yet.
Yeah, man, it is frustrating, and I just want to go back to like the thing you said. These two teams were in the basement. This is going to be a battle of who gets to be in 5th place, who gets to be in 4th place. I didn't think it was going to be so decisive, right? I didn't think it was going to be a sweep. in that regards. But I think, like the Reds aren't as bad as like they came into this series. And honestly, I don't think the Pirates are as bad as they are to be right now. But like again, it's early April, and that's why like records don't really matter too much. I'm not I'm not so upset that the Pirates are in fifth place at this point in time. 5-11 is not a good place to be, but it's not like totally that I'm upset that the Pirates are 5-11. And oh my God, they're 5-11. How can they come from this? Because you had that same energy, right? 3 days ago, like the Reds. I mean, if the Reds fans could be in the same boat as Pirates fans, and the Reds now are a 500 team. And now looking at the Reds fans, you probably feel a little bit better. Like, okay, well, it's 500 now. Like, things are going to be okay, right? It's early baseball, early April. The records don't really matter all that much. I mean, the Braves are in the same situation right now. The difference, though, this is what I want to equate and speak of, right? The difference in why I think we're so hard and I think fans are just going berserk right now is, again, not that they are 5-11. It's because they are who we thought they were. Do you think that Braves fans are in the same situation? I think Braves fans are probably a little more calm. Now, fans are irrational altogether no matter what. And I understand and get that, right? But even the rational ones, they're probably more calm because you know what? Like, they're going to come out of this. We believe in the Braves. Right now, they had some questionable offseason things as well. I don't know why they need to go as deep. But again, that's their fault. Their situation, their post-game can talk about that. But what I'm alluding to is the reason why there are so many people frustrating this team is because everything that you thought they were, for all the problems that you thought they were going to have this year, that their brass told you it's okay. We're not going to have those problems. We believe in this. We're in a situation. It's time to win. They're exposing all of those problems, and if not worse. So there's nothing, like you said, where's the hope, right? There's nothing that really looks like you look at this team and just say, it can change because you know what? Once XYZ comes up, things will get better because I don't know who XYZ is in the minor leagues. He talks about the depth in the upper minors and it's the best they've ever had. I don't know if I truly believe it, maybe to some degree. And with that being said, it's definitely on the pitching side. Is it really Nick York and Billy Cook and that's it offensively? Probably. And Billy Cook is of a prospect that we're talking about, and Nick York, I think there's some type there, but like, is Nick York going to fix this? There are some injuries, and I get that, but this team is the worst offense in baseball. It came into this game as worst offense, and I guarantee you right now, after what Hunter Greene did to this offense, they are absolutely the worst coming into tomorrow. I don't see where this team is getting better anytime soon, unless things drastically change.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Right, the Reds did not play that well in this series. Right, they made some of the kind of piratey blunders that we make. They only got 14 hits over the 3 games.
Yeah.
You don't. If you tell me coming into a series the Pirates are only going to give up 14 hits over 3 games, I like our chances, even with our terrible lineup. So yeah, it's not like the Reds came in and just crushed the ball and did everything well. It's just we are so bad that I mean, look at those names, look at who's playing. Sure. I mean, look, they just about have to get better. They can't continue hitting, 173 as a team.
Right.
Brian Reynolds will heat up, right? Again, Joey Bart looks like he might be able to hit a little. Maybe Nick York helps. Spencer Horwitz comes and maybe he helps a little. Brian Hayes, has looked a little better, but again, this is a team that doesn't string hits together and doesn't hit the ball over the fence. That's a bad combination, right? I mean, they got 2 hits today. Even if they were both home runs, they lose 4-2, right?
Right.
And I mean, how often, right? How often do we have a guy on second base or third base, and you look at who the next couple guys are coming up, and you're like, we won't even be able to make a good out. Right, we can't even forget getting a hit. We can't hit a ball to mid right field. We don't need something rocked to the wall. We just need an effective out, and we can't even deliver that.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
IKF gets a gift to him. Now, I'm not
right.
saying that should have been an out. I mean, that was a tough play to make,
But it shouldn't have been a triple, right?
but held to a double, most likely, right? Like that ball should not get past the right field in that situation. IKF's blessed with a triple. 1 out, you're on third base. This is your opportunity to score. Doug, do they score? Of course not, because the offense doesn't know how to do that. That's
Right.
what I want to say too. It's not like today was different, and it's Hunter Greene. He's a different animal. Hunter Greene's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and the way this guy is developed. I want to talk, like you said earlier, they've had success. They've had success, I think, also because earlier in his career, while he was still developing, he wasn't all that good. But last year, I mean, things clicked. And this year they've clicked even more, I feel like, for him. He's using the four-seamer even a lot more, which is, you saw it today. I mean, he's triple digits like all game long, 99 all game long. That's a tough fastball to hit. So he had 8 strikeouts in his 7 innings today. The Pirates had 9 in total. But I want to say this, like, it's not as if they've been plagued by strikeouts. This isn't the top, I should say, like, bottom 5 team when it comes to strikeouts. They're lower third. They're like hovering, I think, around like the 20-ish area. But like the strikeouts aren't like a problem. Not like how it was last year. They just can't hit. It's not that they're going up to the plate and just striking out. They just can't hit for anything.
Right.
Dribblers
Right.
to here, little pop up here, nothing.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's easy pop ups. It's like I said, it's grounders. It's again, if you can't hit home runs, you need to be able to play some sort of small ball, and we've almost absolutely, like, Cruz is the only one that steals it. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. Nobody gets on base, so we don't know if we've stopped running or we just
Right.
don't get on base. But right, like this, I mean, it's just stunning how this team can't make an effective out, right? I mean, again, you see these players and you're like, God, you can't hit. So at least, choke up on the bat a little and try to slap it the other way, something. But they're all swinging for the fences like they're Aaron Judge, and yeah, you're right. They're not striking out as much as they have in the past. The called third strike still seems prevalent, but it's not as much as it was. I mean, last year it was 6-7 times in every game.
Right.
And
As well as the year
every guy,
before.
yeah, exactly. And nearly everybody we faced was setting career highs for strikeouts as a pitcher, that sort of thing. But I mean, you really said it best. The frustration, like if you're a Braves fan, and again, like you said, fans are crazy, but you're like, oh, this team's going to have 12 more 5-game win streaks, right? It's like they're going to dig out of this. I'm not worried. It's early, it's spring, and we've had a few blah blah blah. But these are the problems we've identified for years now, right? This is not it's what, Ben's been in last place every year except one year we were fourth. I
Fourth,
mean,
1 year.
Yeah. That was just a fluky year by the Cardinals. Right. I mean, we all thought that, this is the year that we would go sign just a Michael Conforto, not Juan Soto. I mean, we're not so delusional that we think we're going to go acquire Mookie Betts, but
Something to help supplement this offense.
right, just a
It
hitter,
needs
just
some help. And it
right,
doesn't
a
need to be
750
a
OPS.
top 10 offense in baseball.
No,
That's all we're saying. Like, it doesn't need to be one of the better offenses because this pitching staff, if it can just get to an average, just be somewhere in the average. And right now, 6 years deep, and I get it's early, things can normalize, but regardless, 6 years deep as of today, they are the worst offense in baseball, coming off of the year where they were the third worst.
right,
There's not much. I mean, you can't really go that much lower, and they're finding a way to do it at this point.
right. Well, and again, the best hitters on this team right now are Brian Reynolds, O'Neill Cruz, probably Brian Hayes, if you had, and
Kutch.
Kutch. And I mean, I guess you could say, I mean, we know it wasn't Charrington that brought Kutch back, but I mean, those are all Huntington, it's 6 years in, and he does not have, an offensive player that's average. Okay. I mean, maybe you could say Nick Gonzalez, okay, he's hurt, but, Nick Gonzalez isn't quite average, or hasn't been average yet. He's
Right.
approaching it. He's scratching average. So like I said, we're not sophisticated Harvard graduates that know all the deep analysis that major league teams are doing. But we told you that, man, you got a problem in right field. Okay, so now you've moved Reynolds, so you got a problem in left field. You definitely need an outfielder. You need a shortstop. You need, some of this stuff was obvious, and now we've got guys playing all. Andy Rodriguez. We told 10 minutes before his first time that he's playing first base. I can't even be mad at Andy Rodriguez. I mean, I know he played some in the minors, what have you, but he's a catcher and he's playing first base. Valdez is a first baseman slash third baseman. He's playing second base. You know, and then they can't hit. They can't play defense or hit. I mean, what are you thinking? Why are you? It's just so frustrating to have these same questions every year that all of us, just people who like to rant and rave see the problem. Other, outside media sees the problem. And they're in this bubble where, oh no, yeah, we got it this year. It's going to be Billy Cook. And I don't know. He's what, 26, 27 years old. He wasn't able to do it playing for a better organization that actually developed hitters. Wasn't able to break through there. Maybe it was too crowded, but Nick York. I mean, I have some hope for Nick York, but
Yeah.
I would like to see it at the major league level. And for some reason, we've got guys like, I don't know, Valdez and Chang. I mean, I know Nick York just came off the injured list, but I don't think his injury was so. I mean, I'm getting the feeling he was probably still in the cage. It was a week. It's not like he's completely needs a month now to get ramped back up. So I would like to
But
see
I
him
guess,
up
like, let
here
me ask
soon.
you this, because we're at the point of time where you can call up guys. Um, is it time to infuse this team with something different? It's weird that we are talking about this on April. Geez, what day is it, Doug? April 13th.
April 13th, I think. Yeah.
It is April 13th. We have this talk because I think we had this talk back in like last May, June,
And we
maybe.
had,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
it
Well,
was
we
like,
were,
is it time to just bring? Because even though you don't believe in a Gorski, even if you didn't believe in the guys we're talking about at that point in time, is it time maybe just to bring him up to do something different? Because the status quo is not going to lead you to different results, right?
right.
That's how I kind of feel right now. I mean, you see this team, Chang can play shortstop, and I get that, and I understand like him being here to help. But like Nick York is healthy again. Not that I really want Nick York playing shortstop. I want to play in there as little as possible. Trust me. But he has the capability of it, and the talent I
Right.
think is way better than Chang. Right? I mean, he doesn't really possess much of a bat. But like Adam Frazier, the bat just simply isn't there either.
Right.
Emmanuel Valdez. I just
I'm with you.
I can't say I like him for what he is, but like he certainly is also is not a leadoff guy. I just have an
Right.
issue with him
Yeah.
batting leadoff also. I know he has some pop, but like to me, he's not really that great of a hitter either. And all for all the people like, oh, you gotta believe in him, you gotta believe in him. I guess my rebuttal to you also is if I have to believe in him, how come the 28 other teams couldn't believe enough in him to give anything more than a 19th round 2024 draft pick to obtain him?
Right.
So like that's the other thing to look at. Like the league didn't believe in him, so why should I? And so far, he's not showing too much of a reason that I should. As he's batting
Yeah.
148, 2 strikeouts today, 503 OPS. Is it? I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here a little bit. I guess we're getting away from the post game show, but this is why we're all so
Yeah.
frustrated because this ain't it, and this isn't really on Derek Shelton. And I get that there's things that Derek Shelton's doing, like putting Valdez at leadoff, that make you a little bit confused here and such. But again, like he's strained here. You can't use Joey Bart. He's injured. You couldn't use Ono Cruz for a bit of time. He's injured. You can't play Reynolds in the outfield because he's injured. Like there's a lot of injuries, a lot of issues. And because Reynolds can't play in the outfield, you have to use Kutch, I guess, more sparingly. I wish they would use him less sparingly. But, so you're really finding like your best hitter is Kutch and he can't even get his way into the lineup. So like, it's just tough because there's nothing at their disposal that they can do with the current 26 that I feel is going to make anything different heading into the Washington National Series for these next 4 games. Because, like, again, this is where I side with like what Tyler said yesterday. And no, I'm not going to go that far. I don't side with Neil. But like to give Derek Shelton some type of out or an excuse with this series or this roster today, there's no combination of players on that 26 that make you feel good going into the National Series. That's not on Derek.
Right. Now, I mean, I agree with that. There again, Jim Leland couldn't manage his team to 81 wins. It's, but I do think, and we've all said it. It doesn't seem, and I don't know again how much power Shelton has. Sometimes I think he has 0, and then it's not at all on him. But if the lineup is his and that sort of thing, then I am very frustrated with his deployment of some of these guys. Like I said, I want Gorski to come up because it's not like we signed Tyler O'Neill and Conforto and they're struggling and we're now saying bring up Gorski. It's Adam Frazier and Tommy Pham and Valdez and Carnerio. Do you mean to tell me that Gorski can't come up and hit 173? We do know he has pop. We do know he's an excellent defender. We do know he can play first base and center field, which would have been the perfect guy to come up if O'Neill Cruz is not going on the injured list, but is going to miss 4 games or 5 games, right? He can play center field for you, and you've got a nice defensive outfielder. It's stuff like that. I mean, you're right, and again, where I'm veering off from the post game path, but
I know.
it's like you can't bring up one of the Billy Cook. I mean, I'd take Billy Cook or Gorski over Pham and Frazier right now, and think we'd get about the same offense. But at least they're really good defenders and have some flexibility.
And that's one thing I want to say. Like, at least Billy Cook he's the best defender on this team. If he's up here tomorrow, right. He's the best defender on this team. I guess outside of Brian Hayes. He's the best defender, clearly. But Billy Cook's
not even close, right?
And like, at least you have some really good outfield defense, because that's the other thing that escapes this team is like, we're talking so much about the hitting, but like just the fundamentals altogether. We've talked time and time again also. But like, I feel like every other game, there's some issue, some mistake, some scenario where you sit back and just say, I don't know if that guy's played baseball before. And again, like that, I think somewhat falls on Shelton also, but like this team is just bloated with that. So at least Billy Cook might help out somewhere there. But I do want to also state, like Billy Cook is 26 years old. He's in AAA right now. Understand still the small sample bug, but he's got a 33 rated runs created plus in AAA. Like the guy's batting 133 in AAA right now. It's not as if Billy Cook's like proving himself to say like, hey, I should be up here. Maybe Nick York has a bit of an argument. I mean, he hasn't played much because of the injury, but he came back at the home run. I think he's as major league ready as you're probably going to get for the most part. I feel confident in him. Maybe he comes up and he can provide some type of spark. I don't know. But again, like that's also like back to Charrington's comments when you say that there's just so much depth. The most depth we've had the upper majors or minors, and I just look and say, okay, we have Bubba's there. Harrington's back there now. Are we counting Bednar? Does he count as depth of the minors too? Because he's there. Is that it? But regardless, being sarcastic there, it's really all on like the pitching side. I don't like what this team needs is offense, and there's really nothing there in the upper minors that's going to infuse this team to help them out at this point in time. All you really have is Nick York and Billy Cook. And again, back to Billy Cook. It's not as if he's this great player. And Gorski, if all things you talk about Billy Cook, Gorski's even on a whole nother level of that. Like Gorski just strikes out so much. Gorski, I think, is 27 also at this point. And just, he's like, I don't believe in Gorski. And to do so that as well, you got to make a 40-man decision. So I don't know. Like, guys have to get healthy. They have to for this team to have a chance. Brian's going to have to find a way to get back into the field so that way Kutch can get back into the lineup most days. O'Neill Cruz is back in the lineup today, so we see he's healthy. We got to find out what's going on with Joey Bart. Is going to hit the IL or not? I mean, that's what's really coming to this team too. It's just like you just have these uncertainties of health. Joey Bart, O'Neill Cruz, right? They're not on the IL, but they also weren't playing. So taking up a roster spot. And then Brian Reynolds is playing, but not taking the field. So like he's taking up Kutch's roster spot, essentially. It's just, it's tough.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, it's brutal. Like I said, it's, I don't know if you're some other teams, you're like, well, we've got this, or we've got, I mean, Nick York could come up here and hit 400 tomorrow, OPS of 1,000, and more often than not, he's going to be stranded on second base. It's like
if he was here today,
yeah,
and he bat 400,
right,
they would have 4 hits.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's not.
If he was lucky to get 5.
Right. I mean, we need Brian Reynolds to get hot, Cruz to get hot, Nick York to come up and get hot, Horowitz to come back and be hot, Brian Hayes to get hot, and Bart to be healthy and get hot, and then maybe we could approach being an average offense, and we'd still have 5 automatic outs in the lineup with them. Right?
Henry Davis return. He's 0 for 3 today. I do want to say that was a little bad luck. Again, it is baseball, but again, when IKF was on third, Chang strikes out, and then Davis came up. They were throwing high and tight to him. I mean, that was it. He couldn't really get to the fastball. He got the one. It was a really, really good play. I think expected batting average was not like a 93%. Like that ball falls. It wasn't hit particularly hard, but it's in the area where it's like that just goes over the infielders right below, the outfielders and drops in. They had it played well that made an out. But again, like I'm not giving an excuse. Like overall, like Henry Davis it's 2 games. It's 2 games.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't know if he's the spark either.
No, they did. Yeah, you sure can't count on it. Hopefully something happens there, but yeah, it's pretty bleak. It is pretty bleak. Yeah. Again, and one guy is not going to be enough. It's going to take the whole team to improve. And you say this all the time. Like when you look at a team that wins, like say team wins World Series, and you look and they're like, oh, they had 4 guys have career years. They're probably not going to be as good next year. You know what I'm saying, right? And when you're counting on 4 guys having career years, usually what you get is one guy has a career year, another guy gets hurt, another guy stays exactly the same, and the other guy regresses, right? So, and we're counting on 4 or 5 guys, right? Breaking out, and that's just, that's like putting a tooth under the pillow and really thinking the tooth fairy's coming. So,
and that's what I want to get back to that. So, like I said with Henry Davis, like he didn't strike out, but again, like the at bats haven't looked particularly well. And today, he hit a ball 3 times, 2 pop-ups, a line out, 61 miles an hour, 74 miles an hour, 73 miles an hour. I mean, everything completely soft. Not really getting a good bat on it today. And this is again like Henry Davis did come up. This is another opportunity for him to show he could, right? He has the potential, like he could be a spark for this team, but he's not. And so far, just 2 games, but so far doesn't really look particularly well for him either. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, I don't need to go. Brian Reynolds and IKF are the only 2 that had hits today. Jim Rosati was at the game. They got swept. He was at all 3 games. They got swept. That's another thing. That's what correlates here. It's the only thing that really matters. That's really why they lost. All these things that are true, but they got swept because of Jim Rosati.
Yeah, and Jim, I'm sure, is going to be in attendance at the tailgate. So
I might not come. I don't want to be there with Jim.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about the pitching.
I don't believe in the Rosati curse. I'm just going to go on the record. I don't believe in the Rosati curse. Of course, it's easy to be cursed with this team. They're terrible.
Yeah, but Jim's terrible too. He's just an awful human being, like just through and through. Don't let him fool you. But now let's get to the. I do want to get to the pitching side. Carmen Mlodzinski pitched today. He started. This is 3rd time this year. It's been mixed. The first time, I'll say this: all 3 times we've seen this, he looks outstanding. The first time through the lineup. Now, the first time it unraveled. The second time it looked better. It was more encouraging. This time it started to unravel a bit as well. My biggest takeaway, and again, maybe they need him there, and he gave up. Well, I guess it was 4.1 innings he lasted, and he did give up all 4 runs because Wentz allowed the runner to come in. Wentz did not look good today. No swing and misses. They were all hitting off of him. But he does escape it with bases loaded. But either way, yeah, Mlodzinski has 4 tagged on 4.1. He looked outstanding. Outstanding the first time through the lineup.
Struck out Ellie twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ellie is a strikeout guy, but still, right?
But he's also a good hitter.
He's also a fantastic player, right?
Yeah. So I don't know what to make this. They need a 5th guy. I guess it could be worse as, a number 5 guy right now. Again, he just screams and screams and screams. This guy can be an absolute demon in the bullpen.
Right.
And he has to be used right now. Is this? I mean, maybe they find a way to like an opener situation. Maybe he goes 2-3 innings, and they get someone in here. But I don't know if the whole starter traditional way is in it for Majinski.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, Jones's injury sort of allowed it to happen. The kid wants to be a starter. He has to be a starter. You've given him a shot, but the more we see, the more it looks like could be a very effective reliever. And the more those guys shove down there at AAA, the harder and harder it gets to sort of understand and comprehend what they're doing, running him out. It's like, wait a minute. I mean, I know. Again, last year was weird because we brought up Jones. He started out on the 26-man roster, and then we brought up Skeens in May, and that's so out of character for the Pirates. Nobody comes up till June 17th, that sort of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've gone right back to that. You're not going to want to bring up Bubba until 3-4 weeks, 3 weeks into June. But you've already brought Harrington up. And look, Harrington did not look great. I mean, he gave, even in the 4-out save, he gave up 3 runs.
Right.
So
better.
but
It still don't look good.
Yeah, but it didn't look good, right?
Right.
But you still got Burrows. You got Ashcraft. I mean, yeah, they said he looked terrific. He looked efficient. His stuff was playing, but it just seems that second time through he's probably in trouble. So I don't mind it going for another start or two, but if the next 2 starts yields this sort of 5 innings, 4 runs kind of thing, you have to make a change because we could use him in the bullpen. Right? As effective as a bullpen pitcher as he can be, it'd be good to have him out there. And again, it's a little different. Like it's like, all right, what are you going to do? You're going to send him down and bring up a Gorski or a Cook. You're just moving around the deck chairs on the Titanic. But this is with the pitching, it's different. We do have guys that we think are going to be, very effective starters in MLB. And it will seem kind of silly to watch them going 6 innings and giving up a run with 10 strikeouts at AAA while, this guy can't get out of the, 4th or 5th inning.
Right. No, I'm with you. I do think, I mean, this is where you might be going off of emotion. You might make an irrational move. You've made the decision that you're going with Carmen. It's been mixed. I'll give you that. It does look more and more of what we kind of fear. He's not really a starter. But I would still roll him a few more times and then kind of kick back and make an evaluation at that point in time. But, I guess that's just what makes it kind of hurtful in that sense is you see how good he is. I mean, like it's unfair to him is how I feel about this. You look at Carmen Majinski right now and you say, this guy has a 6.23 ERA. Well, he's bad. It's not good.
Right.
But like in reality, I'm like, well, it's because he's being used as a starter. Like this guy probably has a 0 or like a 1.23 ERA, something like that. If he's in the bullpen and you're having a whole different conversation saying, wow, Carmen Majinski having a really, really good year, and like, that's just, it's like, it's unfair to him. That's why I said, like, after his first start, I felt like doing this, like at the end of the year, you have discussions and say Carmen Majinski wasn't that good of a pitcher. And it's like, because he was put in a situation where he wasn't at his best.
And it's sort of like a Pirates signature move, right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent the potential reliever if he's put in that role.
Yeah. It's the Pirates signature move. Put a guy in a position to fail. Don't use him where he could possibly be his best. I'm surprised we haven't played him at second base. So
that's coming.
All right. It's just a matter of time before he's over there at first base with it.
He's going to be throwing from second and then fielding.
Yeah. Oh man. So it's
just going down the list. Like I said, Wentz came in today. Now he got out of it. It could have gotten worse. He does get out of it, but he did not look his best today. Again, no swing and misses. The bats weren't missing that baseball today. And then Justin Lawrence does come in today. I was intrigued, Doug, intrigued by the pickup.
And you should be.
I mean, you saw what he had in Colorado. We understand Colorado things don't play as well a lot with pitchers sometimes. Maybe he's just a product of Colorado, especially with the home and away splits. Very intrigued by him. And he's shown every bit that was a good pickup. And again, it's things we harp on time and time again. As a GM, that's who you make your money in this bullpen is signing, identifying those guys, getting them on here. I do think that's where Ben has succeeded in many ways too. I mean, we talk about Dennis Santana. I think Justin Lawrence is the new guy. Like he's going to be that person this year for us. That sweeper looks nasty.
And don't forget Caleb Ferguson.
and all three today. Barucki looked good. Caleb Ferguson looked good today too. So again, Wentz didn't look as particularly well, but he got out when they needed it. And then the relievers came in again. Lawrence, Barucki, Caleb Ferguson all look good. I know Barucki had that rough inning, so his ERA is inflated. So it's at a 5.14 right now. But Lawrence with a 1.17, and Ferguson still hasn't gotten a run yet this year.
Right. The back end of our bullpen, if it's Ferguson, Barucki, Santana, and Lawrence, that could be very effective. They are pitching, and then you got, like I said, you got Wentz, who again wasn't great today, but has been really good. Kind of bridging, can get you from the starter to the back end of the bullpen.
Yep.
It's unfortunate we don't ever have a lead to protect. But so we're not getting to see them in these kind of situations. But this bullpen really could be a strength if this team could score a few runs and give them an opportunity to have to save some games, get some holds, that sort of thing. I think that I'm intrigued. I'm right there with you. I'm enthused and excited about it.
Yeah, especially if you got, I don't know, Majinski in that bullpen too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Right. But at any rate, yeah. So the Pirates do fall today 4-0. Get swept by the Reds. Are now 5-11 on the year in 5th place. They take on the Nationals, a 4-game series upcoming. We'll see what happens. It's not like the Nationals are a great team, but they certainly have some young talent, and that talent seems to be talented. But hey, you know what? That's the other thing to take away from this series. It was unfortunate that it was like the bottom 3 of the rotation coming into it. Now the dogs are coming. Skeens, Keller, right? Hopefully he has a nice bounce back. He'll probably be scheduled to pitch.
Yeah. He would. I think he'll pitch Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So and we get Skeens versus Dylan Cruz tomorrow. That's.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know what I'm saying? That'll. Yep. Again, our games don't always have something great to look forward to. Now we get Skeens, and it's Skeens against his old college teammate, and the debate who would be the number 1 pick, all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, I'm
looking forward to that.
Same now.
We got a game. We can look forward to a Pirates game. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm interested in James Woods. James Woods is good.
Yeah,
I want to see that matchup too. But
yeah.
All right. Well, then let's get out of here. We will be back again tomorrow. First thing, Bucko Brew, powered by DeFair Coffee. We'll be back tomorrow morning, Jim and I, and then of course we'll have the post-game shows. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this video. You don't have to liking this video does not mean you like the product on the field for the Pirates. You can like this, but not like that. So I just want to make that known. But yeah, all the fun stuff. Do that. We appreciate you guys, and we're out. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow night.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.